listen to the replay.
Right. Okay. Okay. Jibwe's got herself muted. So good afternoon or evening.
Hello. Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh, Brisha's here. Great. Great. Awesome.
Hello.
Hi, Brisha.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
There we go.
Okay, so I have the recording going and we're going to, I just put my seat down a little bit. We're going to just start today with a grounding. So in the environmental sector, we have this beautiful human being named Kate Trinka, and she put together this beautiful deck of cards. And if you know me, I love cards. So she put a beautiful deck of cards together, and it's all about sensing. What are we sensing into, right? And so this morning, the card that came out was not only our psychic capacity, what are we listening to? You know, what are we hearing from spirit? That's where I look at psychic capacity as a way that spirit speaks to me. It's a way that, you know, I don't need anything else. I just have to listen with my heart, right? And then after that came a sense of pressure. Oh, hi, Brenda. Came a sense of pressure, right? And what grows under pressure? Oh, Jibwe, your beautiful face. And so what has been growing in pressure this year has all been pressure, right? So if we're invited into our psychic capacity in a year of pressure, we are invited to bring words from our heart, right? And that's the card that came up with this beautiful doe there eating words from the heart. And on the back, there is some words I'd like to share with you as we open. So here I offer words that you may use before you open to the experience you've chosen to participate in today. Great Spirit, creator of all that ever was, is, and will always be, open my childlike heart today as I experience the wonders of the universe for which you have created for each of us to enjoy. Allow me to be in right relationship with the natural world now, always, and in all ways. May this experience draw me ever nearer to who I have been designed to be, an expression of love that is at one with all. Help me to understand that everything I think, everything I do or say has an impact on all other beings, past, present, and future. May I show love and compassion to all others, and may I always remember to be grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Thank you, Donna. I had invited Donna to share it because it just, it brings in a whole different vibration to the conversation we're going to have today. Hi, Brenda, and hi, Jibwe. Thanks for joining, and Brisha as well. And as you can see, we have Susan Soleil with us from the Charter for Compassion. And Susan has graciously given time to explain Sutra for us. But before we started, I forgot. We had put in our intention for today. Donna, I just skipped that. Do you wanna share that? I just jumped ahead.
Oh, our intention for today is to share with you, you know, we thought we had the image this morning come up of the 1,000-petaled lotus and how we have been 4 petals, Brenda and Betsy and Sarah and myself all summer long, 4 petals that have been the foundation of this lotus. And then Brisha came and she threw her little petal in there, and I love that. And Jibwe has been adding her petal to this lotus all year long as well. And so it's the way that we see women and girls at the Charter expanding in this really beautiful 1,000-petaled lotus as we just continue to bring in more petals of anyone that wants to be a part of this work. And as we change and shift into new narratives, right? This year has been a deep invitation. The pressure of this year has invited us to decide what is in our heart, right? What is it that we're hearing from Spirit? Where do we wish to be? Who do we wish to be? And how do we wish to be? And just outlining some of our intentions today is to talk about our surveys, to look at what does an ambassador mean to you specifically, and look forward to an update on, we want to cover the October 2020, just a little bit about the recent webinar that we did. And then Brisha, we'd love you to speak about 2021 if you want to speak into the PSSN project. So we'll introduce that. And then again, obviously having Susan introduce us more to the inner workings of Sutra so that we can move into that space. And so that's our intentions.
Thank you. We'll start with Susan, please.
Thank you. How wonderful to see all of your beautiful faces. Thank you for inviting me here. So I'm going to, can I share screen? Have you made me co-host so I can do it? I think so.
I just made you a co-host now.
Perfect.
There we go.
Okay. So you're going to see all the things that I have open, way too many things. But one of the things I have open is Sutra. So I'm going to start with Sutra. And I think if you think about Sutra as almost like, well, it could be your replacement for everything. You could stop your email, at least for this group, I mean. You know what I mean? You could do all of your communication there and invite new people to be part of your Sutra circles directly from Sutra. Now, they will get an email invitation, but then once they join, you really could do everything here in Sutra if you so desired. And I loved what you said about kind of the lotus. I think if you think of the Charter for Compassion in Sutra, it's the container. And then within this container are lots of lotus flowers. And so they call it Sutra, and they call it, well, it says search your circle. It's all circles, circles within circles, with the Charter for Compassion being the very top circle here. Within that, and you'll use this gray navigation bar here to your left to kind of go around. But you'll scroll down and you'll see these are the next large containers of circles. And you're welcome to flip around here. Here's the Charter Education Institute. They're still trying to figure out if they want to use it. Then there is the Charter for Compassion sectors. Let's go there, since that's where the women and girls sector is, but along with the peace sector, the social justice sector. So if you wanted to see what other sectors are doing, unless it's private and you're locked out, you're welcome to kind of read other comments that are going on here. And under the women and girls circle, so now we're going deeper into our circles, and you'll see over here on this navigation bar, we started with the Charter for Compassion circle, then we went into the sector circle, and now we're in the women and girls. And then there are 3 circles here that are within the women and girls. And if you get confused, you can click circles over here, and it will show you the 3 circles. You can flip back and forth. And I'm not sure who all is part of this right now, but this bar down here at the bottom is where you click on the little blue crayon. I'm just gonna actually go out so you can see and come back. Whoops, I went too far. So again, I'm just using the navigation bar here. This blue crayon is how you will communicate within the circle. And I think it might behoove you to decide what this discussion is. This might be the place that holds all the other circles very visually, similar to the sector circle, right? Maybe you don't have a discussion right here. Maybe you just have a discussion group, and then you have your other circles, so that when you open the women girls, you can see all your circles. Just something to think about. So I'm going to post a message. You can add a title, and it might be happy to be here and let me know if I might help you with, oh, first I have to spell it right. You with Sutra. Then I go down and I create the post. And someone can come along and comment on that and say, hey, Susan, I'm really needing help with how to upload things. I'm going to create another post, and let's call it a quote by, and I can go in and delete this at any point. Okay, and I saved it over here. I'm just gonna copy. Let me see if I can work this, and then you can paste it right in there. Compassion is not an option. It's the key to our survival. And you can then create that post. Over here on your far right, again, you'll see the search. Yes.
Susan, I saw that when you put that quote in there, that was in a picture format. So did you hit an add? Was there an add picture or add? I guess it would be, yeah, picture. And then you were able to make it bigger and smaller.
Yes, I was. I'm going to go back there. Let me see. Can I go to? Oh, these three dots are helpful. Let me go to edit post.
Okay.
If I misspelled something, if I wanted to delete it or whatever, I just pulled this bigger, this square.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like we would on anything.
Mm-hmm. And then along the bottom, well, let's see, I'm just going to update the post, and then I'm going to create another post.
Okay.
And here along the bottom is where you can insert an image, a photo. You can just drag and drop it right here. Mm-hmm. Do I have one? I think I saved one. Let me just, only because we're going to be doing Edinburgh City, Compassionate City here soon. And so I got this great picture of Edinburgh, Scotland. You can just drag and drop a photo in there. You can do a whole bunch of stuff, but then you'd want to state what you were doing up here in your title. And that actually takes me to resources over here, because this is where you have all of your recordings, your ambassador call recordings and your V2020 webinar calls. You can put a whole bunch of stuff here in resources. You do it up here under new resources, and you can also put new things in here. So the V2020 call, I'm going to put add a page, because you had that fabulous October, let's see. Oh, you know, I'm going to close it because I want to make sure. So July, okay, add a page. I'm going to put October 2020, right? The one you just did. Mm-hmm. And copy that. Go back to Sutra. And you might, I don't know if you want to say, here is the link to the video recording of October. So now when you click on that, you've got your July, then you've got October. You could put your December, November, December, continue that here. If you click on ambassador call recordings, there's your September call. And it's all in one place. You don't have to search through all of your emails to try to find the link to whatever you need.
Wonderful. This is great.
Yeah, and you know, we can put the links to the inner circle calls. I don't know. We're trying to go with the circle. So like our V2020 working group can be, we can come up with a name for it or whatever, like PSSN. We'll put, that's already on there. This morning I added that women and girls youthful voices, because it was like for like Chibwe, anybody, intergenerational. So we want to make sure that the youth have a voice here. What is there for us to hear? What do you need from us? What do you need us to hear? What do you need us to see? What do you need us to show up with, etc. So that's what that little subgroup is we were going to put next gen, but we decided we were over that term, next gen.
I'm glad to hear that. I have a question. So let's say, so I want to connect Sarah's daughter, Alina, to another friend of mine in Tree Sisters, to her daughter. And I'm wondering if that would be a kind of a nice meeting place, because then as you know, we've introduced more of the younger, because that's the challenge. Everybody trying to get on an email at the same time, or, you know, get connected, and also sharing people's emails. This way they can come to a neutral location, meet each other if they want to, and perhaps meet others. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And just so you know, you can add new people up here under add people, and you click there and you can type in your daughter's email with a comma, and then your friend's daughter's email with a comma, and maybe a couple of other young people that you want, and you add them to the circle, and it says that the people will get an email, even if they haven't signed up yet, saying, hey, you might want to sign up for Sutra, or you've been invited to sign up for Sutra. Anyway, and then you click add people down there at the bottom.
Now, if you wanted to make something, Susan, I don't mean to interrupt your whole tour.
No, I'm kind of done. I just wanted to make sure you knew all the different pieces.
Okay. So
and
what if
Q&A?
What if you do want to have conversations that it doesn't put out? It's private, more private conversations.
And just so you know, can you see this little right here, the I with the line? This is right now a currently closed circle.
Okay.
So only those who have been invited to it
Okay.
can get in and contribute to it.
Okay.
The leadership, I'll show you, where is it? The leadership of the board is a closed circle. Oh, I get in because I'm the manager, but it's a closed circle that only the board members who've been invited to it can get in.
Okay. And so only the board members probably would be the ones inviting, or is there an administrator such as you have on?
I end up doing the inviting just because I know everybody's email address and I invite them in. But as over your circle, you can invite people to your circle, to any of your circles.
Yeah, Brenda, you can do that.
Do you change that setting with the little setting icon? So right now it's private, but if we wanted to open the PSSN up to other people, how do we do that? How do we change from private?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So let's go to that one. And so so here's where you would add people to the circle if you so desired. Then this gear has a whole bunch of settings to it. And you would go to settings, and then your circle manager. No. Circle settings, registration settings. Oh, I always have to click around. Okay, we're gonna go back. And when you're done with this, just click on the gray, the outside, and it kind of clears it again. We're gonna go back. Let me see. Dashboard.
Members, would it be in members maybe?
No, I'm pretty sure it's in settings.
Would it be in general settings?
It's under, let's see, circle settings, tagged hide. Might be, there it is, yep. So it's an open circle, a private circle, or a public circle.
Okay, great.
Shall we, do you want to change it now? Anyone can access it. Well, we left it private, Brisha and Brenda, until we sorted it out. And then we were going to make it public once we had our thoughts in one container.
Yeah, I think it's,
That's what I was thinking is let's just we're still in sort of the development phase, so that's good.
Yeah, okay, we can open it.
We don't want people to get confused while we're sorting through.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now that's good that we know. Okay. So that was under general settings.
So once you kind of feel like you have it in a place, you can just change the setting. and make it open or public, and then others can contribute. The one thing that I would encourage you to do, if you're really wanting to deeply engage with everyone in the circle, is make sure there are a couple of people that are regularly checking the sutra circles, because it's great to have like a few words response back to someone who has shared something, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. I feel that way on Mondays too, or whatever, right? To create that deepening sense of connection that is so often lacking in an online communication.
So Susan, that's my question. Oh, is that, so when things are happening in Sutra, we're not being notified over here in our email saying, go check Sutra, this conversation is happening. We just have to have Sutra.
You are being notified.
Oh, we are being notified.
And you can control that. There
Okay.
for a while, I think I was getting notified every time somebody did something in anything in Sutra. And I went in and asked for a daily update.
And can you show us where that is?
Pardon?
Can you show us where that is? Is that just?
It's
really
in your email. Let's see.
You can also do it here, though. I found it on the site.
Did you find it in the site? I just found, let's see, I need to go my sutra. Here's my new activity. And I went in, I can't remember, view. You can manage your general preferences here.
Uh-huh.
And so I clicked daily. So that
I get them. I get them often too. And I have Sutra on my phone. So as Susan was leaving a comment, I get a comment each time.
Oh, okay.
So Susan, women and girls sector, Susan left Karen Armstrong quote, that type of thing. So as she was loading them up, my phone's going bing, bing, bing.
Same, mine did the same. I had a question with, the discussion board, the first one, when we go to women and girls sector, there is either you create a post or there's reflect. Which one do you encourage? Like, how does that work? Like whenever a new conversation, then we go in where the crayon is, or if we want to respond to a message already, then we go to reflect. Is that how?
Thank you. Yes. So, Sarah wrote this, and you're correct. I hit reflect, and then I can write something that is back on what she wrote. And then somebody can even join that and reflect again, that deepens that conversation.
So it's like a thread.
Multiple threads under that one posting that she started.
And then the tag, how does that work? The tag.
So you can add a tag. Let's see, create a tag. You can say, let's call this, let's see,
Random.
no. We're gonna do,
Random.
this is a V2021. I'm just, like, this is a topic that relates to V2021. Then you get to choose your color. Let's go.
Orange.
Which one?
Orange.
Orange. Okay. And then you create the tag. And so as long as you are having whatever sutra conversations relate to that, you can tag it that way, and someone can go and look up that tag, and then all of those conversations come up that are around V2021. Or I just made that up, just so
Okay.
you know. Okay.
I like that though.
Okay.
It's maybe, it can be a good tool to organize, or just draw attention to, okay, wait, there's so many conversations, where am I supposed to look? And then go by the color sometimes.
It's hard to do just color. It's really the word.
Well,
Because somebody might use that color for something else. Maybe it's for business sector and they've used that color. But when you're in women and girls, there are only 11 colors, so you might have 20 tags. You might end up with 20 different ways to tag different conversations.
Is there any way to make the font larger?
I'm sure when you have it on your screen, it will be. I'm not sure how to
I see.
make mine bigger right now.
Susan,
Yes.
Back to the tagged things. I didn't mean to go back, but okay, tagged. So when you click on that tagged, if we have 13 subjects up there, when you go over to the sidebar on the right, under circles, resources, and tagged, there you go. When you click that, then all of our tagged messages would come up, like everything that said V2021, everything that says V2020, everything. Okay, cool.
Youthful or
Okay.
whatever, however you were creating your tags,
Mhm.
they would come up.
Yeah, so if we knew that we had posted something and tagged it 2021 and I couldn't find it, I could go hit the tagged, go find that, and then go continue on my searching. Okay, groovy.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yep.
So Susan, at one point somebody said you could do everything on Sutra, and I'm seeing video call because there was talk of like not even having Zoom anymore, having everything be on Sutra. Can you address that?
Yes, you actually would post your video link here. You can't video within Sutra, but you create your Zoom call or whatever platform you're using.
Oh, okay.
You paste it right here and it saves it within Sutra.
Okay, so you can't use it as a platform for your video calls, but you can share video calls.
Advertise that the link is here.
I see.
Or like, so like,
Well,
our,
there's a- yeah, Google Hangout links. So explore it. See what's going to be best for all of you.
so like this call today could have been,
Mhm.
just join us at this, and we link, and then it would take us into Sutra.
Almost the reverse. The link would be put in Sutra, and then anyone who's within Sutra would get the email that it's there, and those who are following it would get it on their phone, those who are checking Sutra, and they just know, oh, it's Monday, I'm going to go to Sutra, and the link's going to be there. I don't have to search my email box to
Mhm.
find the link.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
That's nice.
Love that. That's on
But
my notes.
it sounds like though, if you are inviting someone to a conversation though, you could probably invite them into Sutra where they would find that also, right?
Mhm.
Correct.
So like people that are new to joining our call today, Sarah and Donna could have sent that out, and and then it brings them into Sutra immediately. The benefit I like about this is that then they see the larger charter right away.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I like that.
Nice.
Okay. So
Have you, Susan, have you used other platforms? I've used so many, and I'm curious what you think.
Yeah, I've used Slack and I've used Basecamp, and I find for a container, this is a great container.
Nice.
It's more intuitive. I find Slack is linear, and I'm
I hated Slack.
looking back to find things. In fact, people would send me things on Slack, and I'd hurry and save them because I couldn't go back and find them later.
Me too.
And I'm not sure if you all have this or not, this view map over here. I'll just show you. I love it.
We
When
do.
you click there,
Oh, I don't know. We have it because of you.
yeah. What
Wow,
it does
that's
is it
cool.
shows you the connections. So here's the
it's your
Charter for
lotus.
Compassion.
I know.
Yeah, it's kind of the lotus, isn't it?
It is.
Or actually, you know what I think of is like when you blow on a dandelion.
Dandelion.
However, it's dandelions growing instantly and more dandelions. Anyway, so here's the youth initiative of the charter. Over here are our sectors, and then you can see the women's and girls. In fact, if you click on any one of these,
Mhm.
it shifts it. So now you can see the sectors, and then you can see women and
Cool.
girls has 3. Does that make sense? And then then you can go back to the Charter for Compassion. If you go to the Youth Initiative, then it highlights what's going on there, and then the branches that they have.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, and then you'll see a bunch of other things that have been set up as tags under different.
Mhm.
See, so you can see why you can't just pick a color,
Yeah.
then you'll get lost. But how's that? Is that helpful?
Beautiful.
Very, very helpful.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and those are things that we can write up and put in a document to people coming on to Sutra. Like, hey, click on the view map and then see what you see. Go on a walk with the rest of the charter through the view map, or see what the environment sector is doing on the next global read. Here's a way to get to that, and that's a really, when you go to the view map and you click on that. Yeah, let's go back and let's just go out to women and girls. And then, so if you click on that, is there any way to get from the view map to our pages, or is this just a map? Okay, groovy. All right, that's fine. Then I have another question. So I have a date book full of notes over here that I've been trying to get on a document for PSSN for our next year's project. And I want to start, what would your suggestion be to start on here? A discussion, or what I was thinking is I could attach a Google form, like a Google Doc where we could all work on it. But I guess I really don't need a Google Doc if we, within our inner circle, put up a discussion resource. Or I guess I'm just trying to figure out what's the most streamlined way
a lot more conducive for discussion. It is visual working on the same document. So if you were to say, working on, is this what you're seeing, right? Did you hear much of that, Donna?
No, I got lost. Okay. I got lost, but it's okay. It's still recording. It's still recording.
No, I'll just be very quick though. It's much more conducive to a conversation around something around ambassadors, or defining ambassadors and getting people's feedback. Mm-hmm. And then you take that feedback and you create your document, as opposed to creating the document and then asking for feedback. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The difference, because there's not really like a view document. You can put a link in resources that would say working document for ambassadors.
Okay.
And it's a link to a Google Doc, and then people know exactly in resources where to find it, and they go there and they work on it. But anyway, does that help?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, my concern was like starting a discussion and then it having to end up like Slack, where we're X amount behind gone. So
well, and if there is someone who is saying, wow, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a bowl can get really murky, right? You need to like clean the bowl out at once in a while. So you just say, about 10 ideas have surfaced and we're going to put them here. Let's get feedback on these 10 ideas, or these 5. And then somebody's kind of responsible for lifting up those 5 or 10 great ideas that have been shared. Does that make sense? Otherwise it just gets crumbly and lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So team, Brenda, Brisha, Sarah, what would you prefer for all of my notes here in PSSN? Should I just start a Google Doc that we can all add to, and then once it's done, we can put it as a resource? Do you have a preference?
In PSSN, I already started, like I put something up in there, and I have a whole bunch of notes myself. So this is a really great question. We could splash it all up there and kind of like wade through it, and then do what Susan said, and then go back and go, okay, well, let's coalesce and sort, and then kind of create.
I think because you already
organized document, but in some ways we're just in the brainstorming phase, right?
Couldn't it be like a reflection? If she started, then you keep it under a reflection. That way it stays at least together instead of different threads.
Yeah, I like that. Thank you. Perfect. See why there's so many petals in 1,000 lotus petal? 1,000 petals.
I'll go ahead and make the PSSN a tag, so that right from the start we can tag anything that has to do with PSSN, so that it gets lined up.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. Susan, look at what you started.
You know, we were approached really early on in Sutra's beginning as to whether or not we wanted to do it. And Marilyn and I went to a couple of trainings, and we just kind of saw the potential for the charter and what it could do, mostly for the sectors and maybe for the board. And we weren't even sure all the other ways it could be used. So I think we're still learning, all of us. And I didn't show you down in the bottom left corner, it says Getting Started Guide. And it has all sorts of fun little things there. And you can leave that always up until you know your way around Sutra. And feel free to reach out to me, Susan@charterforcompassion.org, and I'm happy to help.
And I do hope that CIT decides to do it. The reason being is that, you know, I'm CIT trained as well. And it seems like a great way to communicate with everybody that we've taken classes with, and with newer classes or former classes, and then our work through the charter. It just seems to make sense. So
Yeah, I really like it. Rizuku is linear. It's like one person and like a few little things, where this really can be a full discussion.
yeah.
I'm going to share mine really quick just because. Let me see if I can pull this down. Oh gosh, I have so much stuff going on. Peace sector.
Well, I have to say that it hasn't overwhelmed me in the last share
There's my
platform that I
picture.
used was Trello. And I don't know, I was just like, oh, just send me an email. I don't want to go on Trello. And try
Right. What I did want to show you is,
Did I post that?
you posted it, and I went in and said something to you. I was like, oh, Brenda, nobody's even responded. I need to respond to her. So yeah, I went in and I looked at your picture, but I wanted to show you on mine. So let's see, where's my circles? Let's see. Boop. How do I just go? Let's see.
You go under home,
Oh, under home. Okay.
find yours.
Oh, there's me. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff in my way here.
That's so funny. I thought, how'd they get that picture?
Yeah, you put it on. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So these are all the ones I'm in. So here's women and girls. Here's the peace sector. I just put myself in there today. So that's how I found you, Brenda, is I put myself in the peace sector. So you can join as you wish, right? So, and then there's the Youthful Voices that we brought in. And then I'm also in the Global Education Network. Okay, so this was my fall cohort from CIT, and Cricket was in my fall cohort. So now here's also my FIT cohort of 2020, so doing the facilitator one. For CIT, there's also a cafe, there's also general discussions, and this is CEs. It's not continuing education, but it's something, anyways, it's a discussion about like completing your CEs. If you never got your CEs complete, people will help you complete them. So as we go into Cricket circles, there's heard general discussion. And then there's a Lodic studio project. So Sarah, this is where she's helping people do podcasts. So this studio project is where there are people there, and it looks like it's a closed circle, so you have to just invite, get asked to be invited in there, and she'll let you in there. But so I showed you this because CE is on here, and they're super, super, like I get those messages all the time that somebody left a post in the FIT cohort, or somebody left a post in the Lodic studio, and isn't it Lotus? I'm paying attention. So anyways, yeah, you can, there is so much of CIT that's already going on in there, Brenda. So if you want, I'll send you an invitation, or there may be a cohort that's already started that was the one that you joined.
Yeah, I didn't, because I wasn't in fall 2019. Yeah, I didn't know about these, but
Okay.
So yeah, I was before that, but I don't even remember when.
Yeah, well, they may not have been, they just started on Sutra recently. So anything prior to and Cricket, because Cricket was in my cohort, she put all this together. She just like threw it all out and all of us joined in. It's like, you know, the farmer that puts the seed in and then we all grew from it. So if there's a cohort that you want on there that is part of yours, we can add that. We can do that for you. Or you can join one of our cohorts. It doesn't matter. It does,
Okay.
you know, it doesn't matter. Where
Okay.
where do you wish to be? Let's get you there.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think it has to be, put the cards away, Donna. I don't think it has to, I know. Don't leave a deck of cards on my desk. I will play with them. Okay, let me get out of, how do I get out of screen sharing here?
Across the top, I think there's a red button that says stop screen sharing.
Okay, let's see. I got too many things across the top over here. Weep.
On the top of ours, it says you are viewing Donna Mills'
Oh, here we go. Stop share. Okay.
share, and then view
Yeah.
options.
Okay. Got it. Stop share. Give it
So
to-
this would not necessarily be a place where we would be communicating with our partners, right? Or would it? I think I'm just kind of, you know, you have the social media platforms, you know, where you have the Facebook and, you know, partners can share there. But in Sutra, would you use this as a platform to actually engage the partners? Because, you know, I've kind of taken on the job of contacting all of the partners. So is that where you guys created the survey, Sarah?
No, we didn't create it on here, but I
Okay.
like the question. Susan, is that something?
You know, I think it's a great question. And it's interesting. I don't know that we've really thought about how to bring partners into Sutra.
Uh-huh.
So let's just say each sector has, you know, 50 partners,
Right.
right? And some have more and some maybe have less. Then, you know, if we're bringing each into Sutra under, I don't know, resources, or maybe there's a partner circle, right? That they can just add their information. I'm not sure how that would look. Like, what is the reason for that? Is it just to have a presence, or is it to have a meaningful conversation? And I think that's the thing to think about Sutra. It's for connection. It's not a web page. It's not a place to just post your
Events or-
business and the good that you're doing. It's how is your good connecting up with someone else's good, and how are you collaborating and moving things forward? And that's what Sutra is for, is that kind of discussion.
I like what you said to that answer. I recently, yesterday, heard somebody say the difference between a contact and a connection.
Mm.
Uh-huh.
You know, and Facebook has connections, you know, other most social media, but they're awful lot, wrong word, mostly utilized for contact, right? And then you go offline into different modes of conversation to take it deeper usually.
Yeah, that's a really good. So this isn't as much for contact as it is for connection. These really are circles for connection. And in fact, the gentleman, Lorenz, and his wife, who created this, he shared that he did like a 4-day or 5-day training or something, and he was with the 4 or 5 people at the same time, and they got so deep and so connected to each other that he went, this is powerful. I want more of this. How do I create more of this? And ended up, he and his wife creating Sutra because of that experience.
Wow. Beautiful. Yeah, so it's almost like we're inviting people into, what I feel is it's inviting people into our house,
Mhm.
you know, so the people we really want to be in the house.
Yeah, you don't want a lawn sign, right? Like, who are you bringing in
Yeah,
to sit at
right.
the table and talk with you, right? Not
Right.
the billboard.
And I think we've talked about that, Brenda, in regards to partners, the conversations we've had, like, you know, how do we reach out to the partners? Why does someone want to partner with us? Where is that showing? Like, if we can't get that connected feeling from going on the website, so where else could we make that happen. And perhaps sutra is a possibility to explore for that reason, right? And then you'll quickly see, you know, we could see a few examples, we could put a few examples of even whatever organizations we're tied to, and kind of like, hey, Compassion First is a partner and Human Well is a partner of the charter, and oh, we're starting a podcast together, something like that, like, you know, within that's on compassion. Well, oh, then Brenda sees it, or Brescia, and go, oh, you know what, if you don't mind me checking out what you're doing, but here's how I could add value to this. I mean, that collaboration piece,
Right.
I can see how that could happen on this platform, where it's a little bit harder to do just by sending out an email or a survey.
Yeah.
We don't have that feedback the same way.
Yeah.
Or the social media platforms. Yeah.
Right.
It feels like a yummy autumn pot of stone soup.
Yeah.
I only have a stone in a pot.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Next thing you know, we're all having like amazing soup. We did that at the Unitarian Church in Moscow. We always had stone soup Sunday. And then downstairs would be a bunch of people who had brought everybody would bring everything up, and it would end up on the altar. And then they would take it downstairs, and then we'd have the service, and then everybody'd have like a gazillion different types of soups.
We did that at our school.
Yeah, beautiful. I love stone soup. Okay, great. So Chibwe is here, and I know that she's been going in and out. And Chibwe, I wanted you to have a voice. If you have something if you're here to receive, that's fabulous. What a feminine thing to do. And if you're here to gift, what another feminine thing to do. But we want to hear you. If you want to unmute, then you can keep your camera off if it's easier to hear or to speak. But I wanted to give you that opportunity.
And Chibwe, can you remind me what city and country you're in when you do talk? I cannot remember. She must be having trouble. We're not hearing you.
Yeah, the connection is not.
Well, know that the pathway is open.
Yeah, interrupt.
Please.
Hello.
Oh, there she is.
Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Can you all get me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so I was asked a question from Brenda. She's asking me where exactly I reside. I reside
Oh, the internet is not participating.
Chibwe, you can also put it in the chat.
Zambia, which is the capital.
Ethiopia,
Zambia.
Zambia. Okay. Thank you. Now I'll remember.
Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah, honey, we're not hearing you, unfortunately.
So I can, Chibwe had been, had reached out, and I had asked, actually requested.
Then Donna asked.
Yep.
We got a little tiny bit. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you, Susan. Yeah.
Do you need to go, Susan, or do you want to stay? Oh, okay, great. Yes, thank you for that. I was just putting in, my computer's like tired of doing anything. Chibwe lives in Kitwe, 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 Zambia, Zambia. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of contacts on Facebook from a lot of people from other countries, especially with our alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm doing my best to kind of figure out the geography and how to have, good connections, or to spread information. There's a woman that had written, and she's putting together some materials for Zambia. And I reposted it, and then she wrote me back and she says, well, no, I'm not currently in Zambia, but I guess she's shipping there. So I reposted. It's just that sometimes we have trouble, as you know, getting things to other countries. And it's really good to know where people are so that we can resource and kind of, pass things along somehow.
Mm-hmm.
We lost her. And then also, I get a lot of contacts from men, and I'm suspect of that too, that I don't know them. And I don't know if it's because of association with Clay or, some of the others, that I do know. But it's uncomfortable because I don't want to be rude, but I also don't. I have a friend who's done a lot of work in Sierra Leone and places, and he said, be wise and be careful. So it's a interesting thing to kind of swim these waters.
I get the same. Requests, and I've said it's interesting because I ask my biases, like, oh, what happened in my back, right? Like, what was that about? And then I think, oh, it's my global brothers and sisters, and no matter what their intent is, I'm going to say yes. So I say yes. If it comes back in a kind of uncomfortable position, then I just state who I am. And I've made really great friends when they know that I'm not here, that somebody that they can fish for. I have made really great friends with people, and I say, I understand what's going on in your country, and there's, even though it looks like our country is wealthy, there's a lot of things that are going on in this country too. Like, so I've had some people ask about, can I make a donation to this or that or the other? And I'm just not in the position to make a donation in my own life, much less anybody else's, but I will connect with you, and I will remember that you are my brother or my sister. And that's so, and I've turned people have turned around. They're just like, oh, it gives them pause for thought. That I'm not their target. Now I'm their friend.
Yeah. I'm more suspect when it's especially men who seem to only have profile pictures.
Yes. And I say no. That's right. So, okay. Let's see. Well, Chipway, please chime in at any time. We are having a hard time hearing you, but interrupt.
She's gone again, unfortunately.
Oh, is she? I see her online.
Yeah,
I think
she's coming in and going. So, I mean, she is trying. Hopefully we'll get a follow-up email or a message so we can share what she wanted to. We never got to what she wanted to
hear
share.
it. I would love to hear it.
Yeah. I want to thank you, Susan, for guiding us through Sutra and also being a great supporter of our sector. I've noticed from our newsletters, you'll take out a few things and reshare them on, in the newsletter or stuff. Like, we're learning, and it's great to have you as a great support in terms of promoting or sharing the work we're trying to bring to the world. So thank you for that.
I want to give credit to probably Nancy or maybe Mimi and Marcel. Yeah, they're the ones that are lifting that. So I just want you to know that you have other supporters and not just me. So
thank you.
We really appreciate it. It's really nice, Susan.
Yeah. Every it's just one brick at a time, right? One brick at a time. There is so much work to do, and we just do it one brick at a time. So it is close to close to the hour. We were just going to go an hour.
That hour went by very quick.
I know.
Let's just shout out a quick thing about the V2020 in December.
Yes.
Because it's starting to come together, right? And I mean, it's basically us. So
yes.
I did send out an email right before we got on the call to say that Catherine Jostin would like to join us as one of the panel speakers. I think she has just an incredible amount to give. So I'm at this point not absolutely clear, but I think that our speakers are Joan Marie, Faye Love, I don't know her, Jyothi, is that the last name?
Jyoti, yeah.
Yeah,
Jyoti.
And Catherine, is that correct? Or is there other
Wonderful.
feelings out that?
No, there's Niti.
Oh yeah, oh yes, and Niti. Okay, so that's 5. Did we have feelers out to anyone else?
Just yourself.
Okay, so I
Not
think that's,
just yourself and yourself.
so I feel like that's complete. Like we're
Yes.
no longer trying to get more. So now the next task is to just get everybody to send their bios and their photos to Brenda, to you, or to Donna? To Donna.
Not to me.
Okay.
Yep.
And Catherine is just in the middle of a couple of little, she had a flood at her house and she had to move her art. So she said she would get those things to me in a couple of days. So I will
Okay.
get them to you as soon as
Perfect.
possible.
That's probably perfect. I wrote Niti again, and Donna included you only in that
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Just so that she would and introduce you. I didn't leave you all of you out on purpose. I mean, I did leave you out on purpose, actually. Sorry. Just so you didn't have to get more emails, because I know
Yeah.
Donna will get next contact there to get those together so we can get the marketing done.
Yeah.
And so we can get it out.
Mhm.
So I think once that all comes together, then it's just getting the word out. And I think maybe, mid-November, if we want to talk a little bit more about maybe some questions, I don't know if you think that maybe after November 3rd, we might have different questions than before November.
Great idea.
I don't know, but I was just thinking that it would be appropriate, say maybe the second week of November, then to just see what's bubbling up and sort of center ourselves, and then I think it'll be. I think that the discussion is going to flow, there's no worries about that. But I think maybe we could just meet, then. Does that make sense?
Are you considering having a call with the guest speaker, like whoever is invited, so that you can sort of brainstorm how the session would look? Because it is a 2-hour, and I am understanding that we would like it to look a little different than just a conversation. Like, is that something you have considered, or will it just be the task force meeting and discussing?
Actually, Sarah, it looks like Susan's going. Okay, thanks so
Thank
much,
you,
Susan. Appreciate that. And Brisha, I want you to have a input here as well. What I was just thinking, so Sarah and I are on a wavelength right now that is one. We are on one wavelength because we made egg sandwiches together. We were talking about breakfast. We're eating the same breakfast. We're on the same. Okay, so anyways. Yeah, your question just came out of my head, like, oh, okay, the next thing we should do is bring everybody together, the presenters, if you guys think this is an idea, is to bring the presenters together and say, this is what we've done this year. This is our what we envision for this this last webinar. And what are your thoughts? I don't want them to create it, but I also want it to be a creative round table. Right, so I'm not trying to throw we're like the container, and then how do artists want to come out and bring compassion out and as them, out and through them? In which way do you feel most comfortable, Brisha, sharing your art? Which way do you want to present it? Which way does Joan want to present it? And then how do we weave that together? I don't know. That was my thought. Brenda,
so have you done in all of the others? So this is the 5th one, right? So for the other 4, did you bring the presenters together?